Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How's everybody doing today? Welcome in, welcome in. Sorry we're running a few minutes late because I overslept this morning. And right off the bat, Dilly, thank you very much for the host. Good morning to you, sir. Hope you're doing well. Oh, like I said, I accidentally overslept this morning. Turned off the alarm clock and rolled back over. Something I don't often do, but I did this morning. So I apologize. But welcome in, everybody. We are just continuing onward with our little space adventures here. Last night I went to go pay a visit to my engineer, changed a few things, and yeah, we're gonna clean our mailbox up here for just a moment. Get rid of all the reputation changes. Actually, we're just gonna clean it up all together because we know we've got the permits already accepted, so we don't need to keep the messages for them. Okay, mailbox is all cleaned up. We're all good to go. And let's see what kind of trouble we can get into this morning. And I'm sure there is quite a bit of it. Oh, there's always quite a bit of trouble I could get into. Trouble just always seems to find me. Let's see. Are you kidding? You need me to go find all this stuff? Okay. Oh, let's see. Okay, we're going to cheat here. We're going to cheat for a moment. Let's pull up one of our trusty little sites here who's full of information. Shrink that up some so I could see OBS. Where? There we go. There we go. Let's see. No, that's not what I
Zero Dragons!
Son of a bitch, Imfried. Mother. Good morning, Imfried. Thank you very much for the 50 bits. Thank you for the heart attack. See, you got me cussing within the first 5 minutes. Dang it. How you doing this morning? Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in a good friend of mine, Mr. Imfried 2010. Great guy. If you don't know who he is, please click that link over, give him a follow. Leave his notification bell on so you can be notified as soon as he goes live, and make sure you tell him Astro sent you over. Like I said, I'm running late because my mind is not fully awake yet this morning. How are you doing? Good morning, Nightmare. How are you doing this morning? Welcome in. Okay, let's see. Oh no, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. No. We'll do that later. We'll do that off stream. Wet work, planetary scan jobs. That'll be the death of us. That'll give Imfried something else to do besides laugh at me for everything I do. Whatever happened to simple little pizza delivery jobs? You know, hey, take this cargo over there. Where are they at? Figure you overslept. You need to wake up. Yeah, Imfried, I did. Thank you. Just waiting lunch? Mm. What you having for lunch? I'm hungry. I had a couple little quick scoops of peanut butter this morning. Doing good. I always do that. Imprint, you scared the pee out of me this morning. Already. Support the Confederacy by delivering 3,735 units of bio waste. Are we delivering that to your enemy? That sounds like a shitty job. "30 units of water purifiers, 12 units of advanced medicines." And they don't want much. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to go passenger. We're just going to go passenger. Ham and cheese, of course. Bio waste sounds like a shitty job. Exactly. Exactly. It does sound like a shitty job. I mean, how's that helping support a cause except taking it to their enemy? Hi, you guys across the street over there, the ones who don't like you, sent this over to you. Could you please sign this so I could make the delivery complete? Get on my merry little way and go clean out my cargo hold because some of these containers leaked. I could have hit you with a hydrate. Not with as cold as this water is this morning. I could be taking big gulps of that. Man, I didn't even have time to make coffee this morning. The worst part is I woke up this morning when the alarm went off. I rolled over, I turned it off, and I opened my eyes. It's like, crap, I got 25 minutes. And I should have had an hour. Yeah. Don't know what happened that made me open my eyes, but I did. Ooh. Mean they might use it for composting? Yeah, they might, or make shit bombs. I mean, it's not like they're asking me to fly over their enemy's headquarters and throw the stuff out at them, which I'm sure they might kind of like doing. Just kind of sounds like something I would do if I was in a fight with somebody. Hi, I'm thinking of you. Happy Valentine's Day. Here's my gift to you. Enjoy. Maybe it's conspiracy for the worst anti-stink bomb. Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking monkeys at the zoo. We had a monkey at the Baton Rouge Zoo. He was like that. He'd sit there and he'd wave at you for you to throw him treats, throw him food. If you didn't throw him food, he'd pick up his crap and crap from other monkeys and he would throw it back at you. And if you threw something and you accidentally hit the bars, he did it anyway. That was a mean little monkey. I'll tell you one thing. That was a mean monkey, but he was a good shot. He always was. When he would fling poo, he would fling it through the bars. He would never hit it. And he'd always hit the person he was aiming at. Did you just do what I think you did? And we're over here talking about poo, and my dog under my desk just farted. I guess she felt left out. Practice makes perfect. Yeah, well, he was good at it. He was a good aim. He was a very good aim. I remember one time that while we were at the zoo, I was a kid, somebody had got hit with the monkey's crap, and he scraped it up off himself. He threw it back at the monkey, and that was a mistake because then 3 or 4 other monkeys started helping in. Yeah, the shit was really flying that day. The zookeepers ran over there and tried to get the guy away from the monkeys to make him calm down. Exactly. Exactly. Yes, hi. I have a package delivery for. Oh, I feel like Fry the Pizza Boy on Futurama. Just don't stick me in a cryo tube and freeze me for 1,000 years. Is that a Phantom or Mark II? It's Phantom. It is a Phantom. I changed a bunch of stuff on it, went to go visit my engineer in it, and did a few modifications to her. And yes, in Freed last night, I added more weapons to her. Hmm. All right, so we're going to drop off here and see what else we can pick up because we don't have much of anything from our little temporary home. Thank you. I don't need the little temporary message because all this is telling me of a faction change. 6 units of basic meds. Fine. Okay, we got your 6. I heard Blazin made your list. No, your wife did not make my list. She tried. Believe me, she tried. She was a good sport about it. She was laughing. And I'll tell you what, this morning, the way I'm doing right now, if I liberated one bootleg liquor, I wouldn't be delivered. I'd be sitting in a corner of the galaxy somewhere drinking it. That's what kind of night I had last night. Ooh, that'll take me to live forever to deliver that. 1, 2, 3. I should have 96 cargo capacity. Why am I only showing 64? I'm going to have to check that, find out what's going on. Because that is 32 less than what I should have. She told me suggest you get some more Beano. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I am completely innocent about that. Yep. I took off that extra fuel tank and put my... I took off that extra fuel tank. I put the cargo hold back in. Okay. It did not take for some reason. We're going to deliver this. We're going to go get our cargo hold and slap it back in. Because I did change that before I hit the go live button. I really did. Oh, and that big guy has it as a sound alert too. He has what as a sound alert? Oh, you mean oh, let's see, where is it? Where is it? Oh, let me find it. Let me find it. I wish this thing would stop doing that. Is this what you're talking about? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, because I'm well aware of that one. Your incident from Thursday, bite me. Yeah. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. It's so nice that everybody, just kind of, just hits me up with it. Because, see, that's the way I feel sometimes when y'all keep rubbing in that accident I had on somebody else's stream. Screw you guys. I'm going home. Yeah. Everyone took that and running with it. Yeah, I know. And the worst part is the fact that they named it Leo Farts. Nobody's taking into consideration the crap food I was eating while we had frozen pipes. I mean, you try eating a strict diet for a while and then all of a sudden have your pipes freeze where you're eating nothing but fast food. Because you don't want to make a mess in the kitchen because you can't clean it up very well. Yeah, in November, I had a stent put in and I had to change my diet. I was stuck on severe dietary restrictions. So when the cold snap hit here in Kansas, I lost hot water for about a week. So we were having to boil water for everything. So for the dishes, we'd have to boil water to wash them. So we were careful about what we had or what we made to eat so that we wouldn't create this huge mess we had to try to clean up. So we decided just to eat out more than what we normally do, like for a week. So it settled wrong. Because I had just come off the dietary restrictions about 10 days before, and well, that grease didn't settle right. So it was, I don't care what the clip was entitled. I don't. I thought the mute was mute. I thought my mic was muted when I did it. So I'm sitting there, hanging my head, and I'm thinking to myself, thank God it was muted. Nobody heard that. And the next thing I know, I hear, it was like crap. And then he said something, and the only thing I could do is just shake my head, look over at the controls, and realize that the mic was not muted. And everybody in my best friend's stream heard me cut the cheese, literally, savagely. So they clipped it. And then they decided to make a sound bite of it. And then they put it on for jump scares. And I'm glad I changed my name from Leo to what it is now so that hopefully I can kind of get away from it some. Because, yeah. Yeah. And they were nice enough to make sure that everybody knew about it because they posted it on Twitter. He dropped it in I don't know how many Discords. And I don't think he realizes there's going to be some major payback for that one. There really will be. Let me see here real quick. Need to mute one of my good friends here. Why did it do that? Hey, Rick MLC, how are you doing this morning? Welcome in, sir. So there's the incident in question. The only thing y'all can't see is how red my face got. Because I was crawling under my desk after it happened. Yeah. You doing well this evening? Good. That is good to hear. Welcome in, sir. Welcome in. Glad to hear you doing well. We were just talking about an embarrassing moment I had in someone else's stream. It got so bad I had to actually walk off away from it. Okay, I don't have my SRV with me. They're not paying very well this morning. Streaming and just about found a Moissanite core. Demonstrate my skills. Hey, congratulations. I'm not sure exactly what that is, but congratulations. We're just having to take a bunch of courier stuff. Lunchtime, gonna go make a toasty. See you later. All right, Nightmare, you take it easy, sir. You have yourself a good day. Thank you for stopping in. Oh, deep core mining. I haven't started playing with that. I'm still playing a little bit with just regular surface mining some. Setting explosive charges to crack open an asteroid. I am going to have to try that. I'm going to have to try that. I've just been playing a little bit with the surface mining to get used to it some. All right, well, we got a few jobs. And we apparently did not pick up the beer. I thought we did. Nope. We did not. There we go. And I'm afraid you can't say anything because the fact I didn't leave the station yet. It's loads of fun if it works and at a safe distance. I'm going to have to give it a shot. I'm going to have to give it a shot. I just started actually doing some mining Saturday, I think it was. Kind of slow, tedious, being shot at while I'm doing it. That was kind of fun. Hey, good morning, Sago Smurf. How you doing this morning? Hope you're doing well. Welcome in. You're just taking all the fun away this morning? I am so sorry. I am so sorry. It wasn't that bad. What if I say something? What would you like to say? Good morning to you. Sorry, I'm probably going to butcher your name. Amazel? Good morning. Welcome in. Just wanted to say hi and take some of your chewiness with me. Hope you don't mind. Oh, not a problem, sir. Not a problem. Thank you for stopping in. I always try to remain cheery in the morning. Doesn't always turn out that way, though. I do try. I do try. We just like to have fun. That's all it is. You know, I got friends who come in, they insult me, we laugh about it. Hope everybody gets a good laugh. Come back because they're still telling what may come out of Imfried's mouth at times. No, you're not, don't like. What is that supposed to mean? Good morning, Blazing. Imfried, I'm always kind of a nice person at times. At times. Now, if you catch me when I'm a moderator of somebody else's channel, I'm not exactly the nicest person when I have to address you. But start the day right, cheeriness and high explosives. That's right. That's right. What better way to make somebody smile in the morning than blowing stuff up? Yep. Puts a smile on everybody's face. Everybody's. Morning, and may the fuel rats bless your journey. Well, thank you very much, Amazon. Thank you. Fuel rats are a good organization, especially if you're in deep space and you run out of fuel. Always very helpful. Start to, yeah, right. I'm okay, a bit bored at the moment. I'm in an SRV and hit 36601. I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll find something out there to keep you entertained, keep you going. You know, perk up your day a little bit. Somebody popping up out of nowhere just to take pot shots at you. Not me. Not me. I know, and you're not sorry about taking my fun away. Hey, you just like to make clips of me exploding so that you can, you know, create that best explosions of Astro Volume 1 video that you're trying to hawk. That's all it is. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. Yep. I know. Well, if this rocket's not going to blow itself up, see you later and have a great day. You too, Rix. Thank you very much for stopping in, sir. Have a great day. Blow up a bunch of rocks for me. Hey, Skittlebutt, how are you doing, ma'am? How are you doing? Grade 5 raw mats farming. Oh, oh. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in a very good friend of mine, Miss Skittlebutt's TTV. Sorry, I had to stop the theme for a moment. Uh, Great friend, great content creator. If you don't know who she is, please click that link, go over, give her a follow, leave her a notification bell on, and make sure you tell her Astro sent you over. She is a very good friend of mine. Very good. How are you doing this morning, ma'am? How have you been? I hope you're doing well. Hope the weather hasn't been a bit too much for you lately. Because I know we've been having fun with the weather here as well. All right, Ricks, take it easy, Commander. Have yourself a good day. Still recovering from surgery, but much better than the first 5 days. Oh man, I'm sorry. I did not know that you had bore surgery. I didn't. I hope you recover quickly from it. If y'all didn't get much there in East Tennessee, believe me, you're lucky. We got more snowfall here in Kansas than we did for the past 4 or 5 winters combined. I took my dogs out last Monday. It was 5 below outside. The wind chill was 21 below. And as soon as I stepped outside with the dogs, I lost all feeling in my face, fingers, toes, and the back of my neck and head where the wind was hitting me. And I didn't even have time to pull the collar up. We were rushing to hurry up, get the dogs outside, make them do their business, and then get them back inside because they wanted to all run around and play. All we wanted to do is go back inside for the warmth. I had a gastric sleeve done on February 9th. Oh. Oh, I am sorry to hear that, ma'am. I am sorry to hear that. I do wish a speedy recovery. I've only made 15 of your last 18 most recent clips. Yeah, but the most recent clips you made have all been me blowing up. Oh, except for when you scared the crap out of me and almost maybe pee myself and say bad things like you made me say this morning. So you can't say you didn't, intend to do it because you do. Thanks, friend. Okay, Skittles. Yeah, you do, because you wait for me to be involved in something before you hit me with the jump scare. Thankfully, the only thing you don't do is hit me when I'm drinking. I can be thankful about that, because cold water on me won't be that bad. Cold water on the keyboard, Stream Deck. Mind you, my Stream Deck has already been decorated twice. Once with tea, once with soda. That's because y'all hit me with stuff at the wrong time. I ended up spitting on my monitor. I didn't clip this one this morning. I'm surprised you didn't. I am surprised because you are consistently clipping things after making me jump, scare the crap out of me. You are sinister about it. You really are. I sit quietly in my corner with my coffee. Yes, ma'am, you do. Except for those few little odd moments when you have to throw in a quip about gas X. Yeah. So I was in another good friend of mine's stream last night, Big Guy 86, and he's got the sound bite of a loud, long, and deep fart. And he knows that I trigger it in his stream just to make him smile because he can't help think about the clip of me in my best friend's stream. Right. So, yeah. So he starts smiling, and I hit a second one, and Infreed, that's when your wife starts with the gas X quip. Yeah. So she's not completely innocent now, and yeah, I do have to believe you that she's not completely innocent. I know she's not completely innocent. So she can't portray it that way anymore. But she tries. She does try. Last night I made a friendly suggestion, Happy. I don't think that was a friendly suggestion. I don't, but if that's what you think it was, we can discuss that later. Let's see, I can only take 34, 24, 16. 16 pays more. 16 units of gold pay even more. So we're going to grab the 16 units of gold. Grab those, and without even looking to see exactly how far away or how many light seconds into the system it will be, 46 to 64. I did pick that up. I did pick that up. We're making sure we got all our stuff, because we're going to have a lot of unhappy campers here if I get caught somewhere up and down the line. Are women ever innocent? They are sometimes. They are sometimes. I know at times I can't say that my wife is, because I still swear sometimes she tries to kill me with her cooking. But there are times they're innocent. But I'm still not going to let my wife take my truck out anywhere. Seems like every time she drives it, she wrecks it. Yeah, I didn't think so. She wrecks it. Last time she hit a deer. At least she killed the thing. You learned from the best. Dude, don't give me that, Infreed. You haven't learned anything from me. You haven't. Or at least nothing that's going to do you any good. Get you in a lot of trouble, though, but nothing that'll get you a lot of good. See, I told you, glad she finally sheared the wool off your eyes. Well, yeah, but that's also the first time I've ever been a stream that she was in where she was talking, and yeah, especially when big guy goes, "Oh, you two know each other." It's like, yeah, kind of. I have to admit, the GasX comment was pretty good. Falls in line with Jimmy's tweet where he put in the clip of me farting. He asked GasX and Pepto for help. But if you take the Beano before the Beano gas, then you won't have any embarrassing moments. It was an accident. It was an accident. My body was not used to all that grease I had just put into it, and it came out. And I honestly have to admit that I've done a worse one than that. I've done worse than that since that clip last Thursday. You know, my wife says that she was glad she wasn't home when I had done that one, but she was home when I did the other one Saturday. Because she came running in here from the other room, actually making sure I was okay and I didn't blow things apart. Came out, it was just like the first one, had the perfect reverberation, the perfect pitch, and there was no smell. But still, that didn't stop my dogs from all lifting up their heads, looking at me, and walking out of the room. I mean, I couldn't help myself. I couldn't help myself. Same. My other half is trying to kill me, and I got a daughter also. Yeah. I mean, it's bad when something happens. My wife came in here one day and asked me if my life insurance policy was fully paid up. And I just looked at her. I wasn't going to answer that question. I wasn't going to, because I was afraid what would happen if I said yes. Believe me, I was deathly afraid. I do that on my own, getting into trouble. Well, yeah, I don't need to go looking for trouble. Trouble just always seems to find me. I was like that even as a kid. Trouble just found me. It didn't matter what I had going on. Trouble found me. I could just be standing by one of my friends when they did something and, I was blamed for it. He threw a rock and broke one of the neighbor's windows, but because I was standing beside him, I did it too. It's like, but I never picked up a rock. Didn't care to my parents. Nope. You were out there with him. You're just as guilty. It was guilt by association. It's like, what? I was a kid. Try to explain that to a kid. If I've been corrupted, Imfrey did it. Well. Welcome back, Miss Skittles. Welcome back. Well, Imfried, I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. It slipped out. Okay, it didn't quite slip out. It had to come out. It's not like I intentionally, blew gas bubbles on his stream. If I wanted to intentionally do it, I would have stood up and, faced my butt toward the mic like he makes it sound, but I didn't. My brother could look at a rock and he was in trouble. Yeah, that pretty much was me too. I had a pellet gun. I used it target shooting, we were shooting cans. We had bottles flowing in a flooded pit that we would shoot and they'd break apart and sink, things like that. Neighbor's house was hit by pellets and it wasn't from me because I didn't take my gun out that day, but I got blamed for it. Father went outside and wrapped it around a tree. I never shot their window. I never shot toward anybody's house. I always made sure nobody was, behind my target when I was shooting. But I always got the blame for it anyway. Kind of like the little girl who ran into the back of my truck one day. She blamed me for it even though she was talking on her phone. How am I getting the blame for something like this? Okay, we got 64 slots open. We're going to accept a boom time delivery, which means we're going to go nail this one first. Okay, we're already here at the station. Let's see. Boomer goes first. Yeah. And she's trying to figure out if she can continue the regiment of the added ingredients. Are you talking about my wife or yours? And what added ingredients are we talking about? Because I can guarantee you, my wife, she fixed something for supper last night. I wasn't exactly trying. The chicken fried steak was good. The mashed potatoes was good. She does not make good gravy. Because I make mine with a roux. Sorry, something else I learned from my grandma. And I didn't smell her making a roux. So I don't know exactly how she made gravy. And I'm wondering if she used a pouch mix because it did not look good. It wasn't white in color. It wasn't brown. And it wasn't dark. It had an orange like coloring to it. And I was not eating that. I didn't even taste it. I was afraid to. I've never seen an orange gravy before. And she got offended because I didn't try her gravy, but at the same time, I also didn't see her take any either. I mean, okay, I'm old. I'll be 54 in August, but that doesn't mean that I'm ready to die tomorrow. Trouble always finds me too. Look at him, Freed. Well, exactly, Miss Blazin. Exactly. You got guilt by association. Look who you married. He's a little troublemaker. Well, okay, he's a big troublemaker. Somebody I'd even have to look up to. But I mean, it's, you know, you can always say your husband put you up to it. My husband made me did it. Sounds good. I'd buy it. I would. That's on yours. Those special ones that brings her the life. Yeah, yeah. And I wouldn't really be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. Last time she grilled chicken outside, hers was fully cooked. Mine was raw. In the center, it was raw. The outside was cooked, the inside wasn't. And she was wondering why I took a bite and then immediately spit it out. And she's sitting there looking at me, and it's like I cut the chicken breast apart, and it's like, this is raw in the center. So she cut hers up, and she goes, well, mine's cooked. And she kept eating. Like, well, I'm not eating this. I can't eat this. So I ended up going in the kitchen and making a sandwich. I didn't even give it to the dogs. I just threw it away. You had a good dinner last night. I made goulash. I haven't had a good goulash in a while. I haven't. That does sound good, though. It really does. It's hard to do unless you really try. Yeah, the outside of the chicken was fully cooked. It was nice. It was warm. But you cut to the inside, and the entire center was completely raw. And it was cold. I don't know how she did it. But that's not the first time she served me raw chicken. She fixed chicken Alfredo one night, and it was like that. The blocks of chicken were oh, don't deny me. Please don't deny me. I need to go to the restroom. There's no room here on my spaceship. She fixed chicken Alfredo one night, and that's exactly what happened. The blocks of chicken that she cut up were raw. She ate hers. I wasn't going to eat them. I ate the noodles. I ate the noodles and the sauce. The sauce wasn't that bad. The noodles weren't that bad. I actually wanted some meat to go along with it, though. Okay, now how do you screw up chicken Alfredo? That is an easy dish to make. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Why don't you explain to me how my mother took 45 minutes to fix minute rice? It was still clumpy and raw when she served it. I mean, how bad is it to fix minute rice? Let's not forget my wife boiled eggs one time. She walked out the room. She let the water boil out of the pot. The eggs were black on the bottom, and she asked if they were okay to eat. I told her no. I should have told her, yeah, go ahead and have one. But I was nice. Of course, my wife also says I'm cynical because all I do all the time is give her smart-ass responses to the questions she asks, but it's so easy with the way she asks them. But it's just me. It's me. Ben Luton, welcome in, sir. Welcome in. How are you doing today? Okay, now how do you screw? Okay, chicken really isn't that hard to cook? No, it isn't. It isn't. That was one of the first things I was taught how to cook. That and hamburger meat. But somehow that's the way she fixed it. She fixed it where the inside is always raw. Like, how? And she wants to know how come I won't eat it. Because it's my luck I'll get salmonella, but nothing will happen to you. My wife always used to be the carrier of diseases from work. When everybody at work was sick, she would bring it home. She'd complain about everybody at work is sick. Everybody has this. Everybody has that. She'd never come down with it. The next day, I would come down with it. And I'd come down with it worse than anybody at her office. And she'd look at me. She goes, I don't know why you're so sick. And I'm looking at her going, because you're a carrier. You bring it home from work. You don't come down with it. You give it to me. I do. So every time she used to come home from work and she used to complain about people getting sick, it's like I'd never touch her. Go get in the shower. I'm not touching you until you get out of the shower. You know, it was that bad. It was that bad. I wouldn't allow her back in the kitchen, honestly. That's the reason why I do most of the cooking. It is. It's cute. I love her. I swear sometimes that she's really out to get me. Hey, Chakota, how are you doing this morning? I'm cool. Need some dose of elite addiction while I'm at work. Oh, believe me, I understand. I do. I do. Because I sit here at times and I'm doing other things, and it's like, man, I'd much rather be playing Elite right now. I've just absolutely fell in love with this game. I haven't touched anything else in I don't know how long. I mean, I got so many other games I used to play just the off time away from the games I would stream, and I haven't touched any of them. Not since I've started playing this. I've always told people when they get mad about the answer, then you shouldn't have asked a question or a stupid question. Well, it's like I said yesterday. She comes up and she goes, I have a question. I might have an answer. You know, you got a question? I might have an answer. May not be the answer you want, but I'm going to have an answer for you. Wife doesn't like to go out to eat because it costs too much and she can never get what she wants. There are 7 restaurants here in town, and it's not my fault that the food sucks at most of them. Now, the amazing thing is, this little small town I live in, we got so many bars, we got so many beauty shops, we got so many barbers. But as far as restaurants go, we've got just making a quick little check here. Okay. As far as restaurants, we've got a Dairy Queen, we've got a Sonic, we've got a Subway. We have a Chinese place that nobody ever eats at. We've got 2 Mexican joints. The food's bad at most of them. The only one we really regularly eat at is Subway. We've got 2 Mexican joints. One where the food is terrible. It used to be good, but they got cheap on ingredients. The second one, the food is okay. It's not worth the high price that they charge for it. And people in town upset because we have a 3rd Mexican restaurant that's opening up. Now, the thing is about this 3rd restaurant is it's owned by a chain. A small chain that's got stores in Emporia, Ottawa, and I think they've got one in Manhattan. And they have good food, reasonably priced. And everybody in town is upset because we have a 3rd Mexican restaurant opening up. Because everybody likes the food at the other 2. The food at the other 2 are not good. Glad to hear you're doing pretty good, Chakota. But, yeah. Like I said, the food at the other 2, they aren't that good, but people are up in arms because, a 3rd Mexican restaurant. They weren't this upset when the neighborhood market, the Walmart market that we had here that was open for a year, was closing. Because they forced our little local grocery store to drop their prices if they wanted to stay in business. And after a year, Walmart called it a failed experiment and they closed the place. The bad thing is that when they did that, the pharmacist at this little local store had just moved here from Manhattan, had bought a house, had brought his family in, and then 3 months later, Walmart pulled the plug on it. So he had a house here, he couldn't rent, he couldn't sell, and they ended up going back to Manhattan, and he ended up having 2 mortgages. He was upset. I come across him one time at another store where he was temporarily filling in, and I talked to him. Oh, he was ticked. He was mad. He was very mad. But people were more upset about a 3rd Mexican restaurant than they were about the little local grocery store closing. Yeah, see, our little local store thought they had everybody by the little short hairs because when it was announced that Walmart was coming into town and they were building the building, they jacked their prices up about 20% on everything. A week before Walmart opened up, they jacked their prices up another 35%. Walmart opened up and forced them to drop their prices back down to lower than what they were before they started raising them because nobody was shopping there. And then a month later, they pulled the plug. I mean, a year later, they pulled the plug and shut it down. Actually, it wasn't even open a full year yet. It hadn't hit the 12-month mark yet. They did it. And I love this little store. It was good to go to. It was cleaner than our main store. They had stuff in stock that our main store didn't have. Prices were reasonable. Plus the fact they also sold gas cheaper than our gas stations here in town. Of course, it didn't matter because my wife still couldn't cook the food there anyway. I always told her never buy chicken from there. She's like, why? It's because that one cooler keeps breaking down. That was the only problem that store had is one cooler kept breaking down. But you needed something after 8:30 at night. They were open till 10. You always go in there and grab it. And it was full of local people too, so everybody knew each other. One of our ladies that worked at the post office worked there part time on weekends. Let's make a little bit extra money. Plus, they sold stuff that normally would sell around here, stuff that we couldn't get at the main stores in Emporia or Topeka. Then we started hearing about little mom and pop stores that they had put out of business, that when the neighborhood markets pulled out, it pretty much destroyed some little small towns, because when they opened up in one small town, they caused the mom and pop grocery store to close. And when the mom and pop grocery store closed, people then had to drive 110 miles one way to go grocery shopping. New weapons added onto this thing now. We're not going to have a replay of yesterday. If I go down, I'm going down fighting. It's lucky that Walmart had fuel by chance. Yeah. This was when gas was $3.50 a gallon. And this was also was 14, I think it was 14 to 15. And since they left, Walmart's been having to pay taxes on this empty building because it sits there. Nothing's. And it screwed the county over because the county and the city were both expecting tax dollars from that store, so they included it in their next year's budget. And then they had to quickly scamper when the store pulled out, because then they had to start rewriting the budget to remove money that's no longer coming in. Because we had people coming in to shop from 40, 50 miles out of town because of that store.
watch things like that happen. Yeah, I mean that's part of, you know, free enterprise. It's competition. Stores are supposed to compete with each other for the customers. Our little local mom and pop store had been jacking us around for years because a lot of these people didn't want to drive out of town to go grocery shopping when the next available store was 60 miles away. So these people would go there and pay the price, so they had their little loyal following. But when they started realizing that prices were cheaper someplace else, then it got, they kind of woke up to it. But also at the time, gas was, like I said, it was around $3.50 a gallon, I believe. Gas at that time, though, was still fluctuating between $3.50 and $4 a gallon. So if you went out of town 60 miles away, you had to make the trip worthwhile. But one town near my parents' house lost 3 stores due to a competition like that. Yeah. And the thing is, it wasn't a full-size store. It was just the neighborhood market. It was more groceries and dog food than anything. They sold beer cheaper than the alcohol store, the liquor store here in town. They sold dog food cheaper. I mean, they sold a few hardware items, electrical items, things that you'd normally find in a smaller, regular sized Walmart store that they sold here. And they had their pharmacy open. I mean, it was a nice store. It really was. There were 3 checkout lanes and 2 self checkouts, and that was just to help people get through. If there was nobody in line, I'd go to the checkout. If there was a bunch of people in line with baskets full of stuff, I'd go to self checkout because most of the time I walked in there and only picked up 1 or 2 things. Most of the time when we went grocery shopping, we went to Emporia or someplace because we had other stuff that we had to pick up in that town, so that's where we got it from. We transferred our prescriptions over here because it was local. They were cheaper. I had 1 prescription I picked up over there that was only $20. Our local pharmacy in our little local grocery store was charging $80-something for the same prescription. It's like, nope. Had a new prescription from the doctor, went to our local pharmacy. They wanted $133 for it. Went to Walmart. I paid $32. So it was really problematic when they pulled that store out because we had to transfer our prescriptions back to the Emporia store. We didn't want to do that. We liked it to where we could just go over there and pick them up. Because most of the time we needed our prescriptions when it was in between our regular grocery visits. But aren't prices of drugs in the U.S. insanely expensive? Some are. Some really are. Yeah, yes. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the Delta Fleece. How are you doing today, Commander? Hope you're doing well. Your follow is greatly appreciated. Yeah, some medicines really are, especially if they're new and they haven't released the generic equivalent to them yet. And I think that they hold the patent on them for 5 to 7 years before generics can start being made. So within that time frame, they can pretty much charge whatever they want. Kind of like Martin Scarelli, the guy that they called the Pharma Bro, who raised the price of this one prescription that I don't want to aim at the planet. Who raised the price of this one prescription that Huh? What? This is planetary? I didn't think this was planetary. Who raised the price of this one prescription that cancer patients needed from something like, I don't know, I think it was something like $120 a dose to 6,000 and something dollars per dose. Something outrageous that insurance companies wouldn't pay. Yep, planetary settlement. All right, we're coming back around to it. It was, I don't remember what it was. I just remember it was something that cancer patients needed. Some cancer patients needed. And he jacked the price up on it to where it was outrageous. And he used money he was getting from it to buy the Wu Tang album, the rights to it to where it couldn't be released and all this other stuff. And they got him for insider trading. And I remember the folks on Capitol Hill were outraged that he had done this to the cancer drug, because people were needing it so much. We're not going back into orbit. But yeah, my daughter's epilepsy costs. And you see, that's outrageous. That is outrageous right there, Blazing. It really is. My daughter's meds, I go to small town pharmacy. I've been with them for years. It it wasn't chemo pills. I don't really remember what the drug was for, but not everybody needed it. But this company had bought the rights to it, I think it was, or he took over a CEO of the company and he jacked the price up quite a bit to make a huge profit and make a big stink about it. I guess get his name or get their name in the paper. But there was a big stink about it. And I thought I honestly thought somebody was going to take him out for that. I really did. Little publicity stunt, get the company's name out there, get his name out there, and then all of a sudden feel compassion a couple weeks later and drop the price back down. Well, he never dropped the price down. It's kind of like the manufacturer of the EpiPen, what they did. They raised the price of it. They raised the price up quite a bit, and they realized that some of the competitors with the generic versions were coming in a lot cheaper, and they had no choice but to drop the price back down. And then the thing is, you've got 2 or 3 companies who make generic drug for the same brand name equivalent, and they charge different prices. I mean, I don't know why they just don't make drugs, cheaper and affordable for everybody, because a lot of us need the things that we take for, our lives. My blood pressure remains uncontrolled. I'm on two medicines that I've been on now for 7 years. They've never had to change the dosage, but it's the only thing that controls my blood pressure. It's just a genetic thing. Before these two drugs, for 10 years before them, my blood pressure was uncontrolled. And they tried various combinations of medicine, and they could not find one that worked. Depending on the manufacturer for the month, it's between 14 and 1900. You see, that's insane. See, your daughter needs that medicine. I need the blood pressure medicine. My wife's got pills she has to take on a daily basis that she needs. We can't do without them. Because if I stop taking these blood pressure medicines, within 5 days after I stop, my blood pressure is going to go back to where it was. My last reading that was really got my doctor concerned, I was at 217 over 211. The only thing he kept repeating to me over and over again was, "You're at a high risk for a stroke." It's like, I'm aware of it. I couldn't get up and walk 10 feet without, being out of breath. My heart would start racing for no apparent reason. Just sitting still, resting. I could feel my eyes pulsing with my heart rate. I'd wake up in the middle of the night that my heart would just start racing for no apparent reason. I'd break out in the cold sweats. The economic status of Orange Society has declined in the... Well, that's clearly not my fault. I didn't do it. So it's insane that, they want outrageous prices for drugs that people need to live a normal life. And everybody keeps saying, well, we're going to do something about it. We're going to do something about it. When? Stop with the lies. Actually do something about it. Yeah, I agree, Ben. I agree. I think that he is. They also got him for tax evasion as well, if I remember right. They seized a whole bunch of his property. I mean, this guy was a crook round and round. But he's getting what's coming to him because he's lost just about everything. He has lost just about everything. And believe me, it couldn't have happened to a nicer person. Because when I heard that they were going after him also for the tax evasion and everything else that he had done, it was fitting karma. It was karma. Because it all came back to bite him in the ass. And he deserved it. Normally, I don't say things like that about people, but believe me, he deserved it. I think that was... Oh, that's the system I wanted to go to. We're going to skirt the atmosphere here. Daraprim. She's on the highest dosage for her age and weight they could put her on. I pulled her off her last meds. This is... Ooh. Yeah, Blazing, that's not good. I definitely would have to. See, they don't take into account though that people need these drugs to survive, and even then, insurance companies don't pay the full price for them. A lot of people are still having to shell out. A lot of people are still having to shell out a lot of money out of pocket for their meds. Like the price of insulin. Price of insulin is through the roof. People need that to survive. You know, when I was taking care of my grandma, she had to take insulin twice a day. You know, she couldn't afford her meds. I was having to pay for it too. She had to have two bottles. One was a fast acting and one was a slow acting. And we had to have bottles of both. You know, it wasn't that bad because we were only paying, I think it was $70, $80 a bottle. But it's now, what, I think somewhere around 135, 160. People need that to survive. Which helps with toxoplasmosis, parasitic disease. Yeah. Yeah. It was insane when he did it. And it made media everywhere, and people thought it was a joke or a publicity stunt. And I was hoping that's all it was, but it wasn't. This guy was absolutely nuts. And he tried to put out saying it's a good marketing opportunity. That's not marketing. That's killing people. And it's not like you can really go shop around for this drug because there's no generic equivalent. You just had the brand name. And he jacked the prices up to over $6,000 a dose. I think that was the equivalent of 1,500%. So, I mean, I couldn't see my child at 14 taking a vitamin for her liver for the rest of her life, just to say. Yeah. That's understandable, Blazin'. That's understandable. It's bad enough she has to take the medicine that she needs continuously, but having to take more and more stuff on it to prevent internal damage to her for being on a higher dose or the highest dose possible. It's and let's not discuss side effects of some of these medicines I take. My wife's got one where, you know, suicidal tendencies is one of the side effects. I had a drug that one of the doctors gave me one time where that was one of the side effects. The thing is, I was having them. I really was. I quit taking the medicine because the medicine scared the hell out of me. It did. I was terrified. I told him so. I told him the reason why I quit taking them. Last night I took it. I didn't have suicide thoughts, but you hear stories of people who are coming down off drug highs or detoxing who they think that insects or spiders or something are crawling all over them. Well, I had that night. That was the last night I ever took it, so I knew what those people were talking about. I did. I did not sleep at all that night because there was something crawling on me, all over me, and I could not get it off. All over my legs, all over my chest, my arms, my face. I clawed my skin to pieces. I did. I woke up, and I did get some sleep that night, not much, but when I woke up, my sheets were covered with blood. I had scabs all over the place because I had just clawed myself to pieces because I had something crawling all over me. I freaked the dogs out. I freaked my wife out. She was going to take me to the hospital because she thought I was having some kind of psychotic break. Political, there are times when I think that the U.S. is just a third world country just with nukes and big corporations. There are times that I think that some people just get carried away with things. I'll say it as I believe that our country's leaders are out of touch with the people who put them in office. They forget that they're supposed to be there representing the people within their districts, and they just do whatever the hell they want to do. It's not what they think is best for the people that, you know, they represent. It's whatever organization can pay them the most money that they're going to support the bills for. And unfortunately, I think it's been that way for a while. I mean, little small city councils, uh, the county councils, they're not that way. State governments, federal governments, yeah. But I mean, they've been promising for many, many years that they were going to do something about drug prices, but haven't seen anything yet. You know, I'm lucky my blood pressure meds only cost me about $12 a month. My wife's cost her 25. I've got a friend who pays about $300 a month out of pocket for his medicines. And that's after his insurance covers their portion. You know, and then with the pandemic and everything going on and the prices of other things going up, such as gas, the electric after the winter storm we just had, I can't wait to see my natural gas bill. I'm afraid to see that one. I don't think my heater stopped all last week. I know as soon as it would cut off, it would pop back on again. Then I had space heaters on top of that. Epilepsy runs in my family. She's the sixth generation to have it. Ooh, I didn't know that, Blazin. I really didn't. Sorry. Got to be some way that something can happen to break that cycle. But I'm sure things are a lot easier now with some of the medicines we have today compared to back then. The world around us has turned towards a what can I do to get myself ahead and not what I can do to help somebody else. Exactly, and free. Exactly. And the thing is, it's just not our political leaders that are like that. Neighbors are too. Look at the scam artists nowadays. The fake websites to try to get your banking information so that somebody else could get ahead, but at the same time hurting someone else. You know, the skimmer devices that they put in gas station machines, credit card machines, and ATMs, and things like that to get ahead at somebody else's expense. Fine, take my credit card company, take my credit card information, and as soon as I see an immediate charge, I'm on the phone. We putting a stop to it. I don't get billed for it, but the fact is, though, is that I still do because interest rates are going to go up, prices of items go up. Then you got the porch pirates who watch for deliveries outside, knowing that you're not home, who race to your house to go grab them, not knowing exactly what it is. We had somebody here in town who a porch pirate stole their package. Their package contained medicine that they needed. And the company had to race to get these people some more medicine. It's sad in a way, but I think that's unfortunately about the way things have become. It's people are getting ahead. They don't care about you. They don't care what happens to you. They don't care if they raid your bank account and take your last dollar. You know, you haven't paid your rent, you haven't paid your car note, you haven't bought groceries. They don't care. They got your money. That's all they care about. Maybe let's change the subject. This is one that's getting. Yeah, Ben, in a way it is. Porch Pirates is they watch your house. People who just sit back and watch your house, and what it is, they wait for the mail to come. They wait for the FedEx deliveries, UPS, or Postal Service deliveries. They know you're not home, and they race to your front door to steal your packages, whether it be from Amazon or from whoever. They're called porch pirates because they're stealing your packages off your porch. Now, they have no idea what they're stealing. So we've got somebody here in town. They needed their life-saving drugs. That's the only way they could get them. They had found a company online that get them. They can get them from a lot cheaper. So that's how they ordered them. Somebody stole their month's supply of medicine. To a regular healthy person who takes it, they're not going to get a high from it. It's not going to do them anything. It's not going to do them any good. They're not going to be able to sell them. They'll attempt to another drug user, but they won't get a high from them. But these people just run up there and steal whatever it is, hoping it's something good, something that they could use, or something that they could sell for a few bucks. That's a porch pirate. And they're in every town. A little small town, I got a population of 2,400 people here. We never thought we'd have it. We do. We do. Surprisingly, we do. We were shocked when we first started hearing reports of it. We weren't expecting it. I got a neighbor across the street who works all day. He has a delivery. He asked me to go across the street and pick it up for him. So I walk across the street, pick it up. I've got two other neighbors who watch me do it, who let him know that I took his package, and he has to tell them I asked him to. That's just make sure that somebody doesn't steal it. Hey, Wicked, how you doing this morning? Welcome aboard, sir. Good to see you again. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Wicked Wolf is, he's a friend of the stream. Please click that link, go over, give him a follow, leave his notification bell alone, and make sure you tell him Astro sent you over. So how have you been doing, Wicked? I hope you're doing good, sir. But yeah, Ben, we've got, if you look on YouTube, there are all kinds of videos of porch pirates getting caught in the act. I mean, some of them, the worst part is some of them are actually people's neighbors who run up there to go steal packages. And when they get caught, they act surprised and shocked that, you know, they're being accused of it, even though they went up on somebody else's property to steal, you know, their items. You know, we've had people come up on our porch before to steal potted plants that were outside our front door. It's a plant. Why? You want it? Could have asked. We probably would have given it to you. Yep. I'm doing good, sir. Thank you. I'm doing good, especially now that it's warmed up outside. Yeah, hard to believe. Last week it was 11 below zero, and this week we're going to have a high of 64 today. And tomorrow we start drifting back down into the low 40s. Let's see how many more deliveries we have. We got a few. We dropped off our boom time delivery, so it's not bad. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8. I do have to make sure to remember, though, that when I go back, I need to drop off that extra fuel tank I'm carrying and put my cargo container back in. The funniest ones are the glitter bombs. Yeah. And people have started doing that also, Ben. They have started putting fake packages outside, packages with little exploding devices in there that are loaded up with dog crap, glitter bombs, where you, as soon as you open up the package, it just starts spinning around and it throws glitter everywhere. You know, glitter doesn't come out of everything. You know, it's always going to be stuck on you. It's going to be stuck in fabric. The best ones are the people who open these packages up inside their car and spring loaded just a little spring in there with a little platform with dog crap on it, would just fling it up in the air. Well, people started fighting back against them. They had one guy who, what did he do with his? It was some kind of loud pop. It sounded like an explosion whenever they opened it. Yeah. Just get back at people. Okay, but I don't understand one thing. Why do couriers leave packages on porch? Can't they leave notice and pick them up yourself? Some do if it's a high value package or high dollar package. They will say that you're not home, especially if you have to sign for it, or the shipper did not request this, or you did not request it. They will just leave them at your front door. Postal Service is good about that. FedEx too, because it used to be you always had to sign for the package. Now you don't have to anymore. It's supposed to be more convenient for everybody. But there have been times where I've had packages be delivered where I had to go to the FedEx facility to pick it up, the UPS facility, or even UPS one time. Not UPS, but the Postal Service one time left me a notification. I had a high dollar item that was shipped to me that I wasn't aware of, and that I needed to go to the post office to not only pick it up and sign for it, but I needed to also produce ID to prove that it was actually mine. Everything now is kind of like more for convenience than anything. That's all it is. So you come home, your packages are sitting outside, you just pick them up and bring them in the house. That's the reason why it's always good to have a neighbor either go get them or be home when you're expecting them. Thing is, my wife and I are like that. When we're expecting a package on a particular day, we sit there and watch the notification that it's been delivered, and we immediately go outside to go get it. Or we hear our postman drive by, because his Jeep has a certain rattle to it that we hear all up and down the street. So we know when he's passing by. It's It's just for convenience more than anything. They only do that if you ask them to do. Some of the delivery people have got smarter and do stuff like that. Some of the delivery drivers, and I've got some FedEx guys who do that, used to hide the packages behind the plant out front. And we do still have bushes that are just off our porch. And they will do that. They will put the package back there using the plant to obscure it and will just leave a notification on the door. I've had one guy who actually tossed it over my privacy fence in my backyard and left a note on it. Luckily, it wasn't something that was breakable, and it wasn't something that if it got wet, it would damage. And unfortunately, it did land in a pile of dog crap that I haven't cleaned up yet. But that's my fault. How many units? 36. 658. Oh, we're definitely taking that one. 500,000 credits. We're taking that one. But at the same time, I've also had people from the post office who threw a package in the back of my truck that I didn't know was there for 3 days until somebody else pointed out to me that I had a package in the back of my truck. I've had them strap it to my mailbox with rubber bands. Just out there waiting for somebody to take it. I don't even remember what was in it, but they were just waiting for somebody to take it. Oh, I'm carrying a lot of gold. Ooh. I'm not sure I could do 23 light years in one jump, but we'll see. But you know, with everything nowadays, at least here in the States, everybody finds shopping online more convenient than going to a brick and mortar store. So they do that and make it easier for the delivery guys. That's what they do. Like I say, you do have some good people who try to hide the packages. And if the shipper has requested it or you have requested it, you know, they will tell you to come pick it up from their facility. Now, problem with us, our closest FedEx terminal is in Topeka, 65 miles away. And UPS is 60 miles away in a different direction in Emporia. But it's not bad because most of the time we have things we've got to pick up in those towns. So to us personally, it's no big deal. But we almost always have somebody here. My wife's almost always here, or I am. I'm lucky I live near Walgreens. If it's coming FedEx, dropped off there. If it's coming UPS facility. Yeah, and we do that. We have a couple businesses here in town that if that's what you want, you can take your packages there and have them dropped off and pick them up from there. We've got our little local grocery store does the FedEx. So you can request it be dropped off over there. Our library has actually started that service as well. They will not take packages for that need to be picked up for delivery. But if you have an item being delivered, they will accept them and will hold them there until you come to pick them up. And our little local hardware store, they're the same way with UPS. Now, the difference with them is that UPS, they will ship UPS. They prefer you to have it already prepaid, prepackaged, and labeled up, ready to go. They'll write it their book, their log, and it gets picked up from there. As soon as it gets picked up from there, They will call you and let you know the item was picked up, or they send you a little letter in the mail just letting you know your item was picked up on such a date at such and such a time. That's all pretty good. One of the banks here used to do that for UPS, just items that were supposed to be picked up to be taken out, but started to be too problematic for them. Where I live, we have an option to home delivery, delivered to a special package storage boxes, and also some stores. Yeah, exactly. Um, Amazon has started that here, where there are certain areas where, at least in certain locations, where they have delivery centers where they could put your package in some kind of lockbox, and I guess it's a digital key or something that they let you know what the code is so you can get your item from it. But our small town, we don't have anything like that here. I think it would be a good service, but we don't have anything like that here. Ooh, 101,000 light seconds. That's not good. I'm mainly the type, though, if I want it right now, I would rather go to the store and pick it up. Yeah, I am too, but there are some times when something is not available and it's not worth 60-mile drive to go get it right away, or it's inconvenient, or it'd be several days before I could go get it. So it'd be easier just to order from Amazon, have it here in 2 days, saves me a trip, saves me gas, and actually most of the time it's cheaper just to do it that way than drive up there, buy the item, drive back. Gas, wear and tear on the truck. But most of the time it's because I can't get it anywhere locally. If it's a computer item, Best Buy doesn't have it in Topeka. I can't get it anywhere else, and I don't want to make a drive to Kansas City, or it's unavailable there. I just order it. Because for me to go to Kansas City and back to Micro Center, actually a Micro Center, Best Buy, there's one other electronics store I go up there to. It's $60 in gas round trip. So I have to include that into the price. So I have to make a trip like that worthwhile. If I'm going up there for something that I absolutely need, I make the trip worthwhile. Stop off a cigar store, spend some time there, go walk around in Micro Center, drool over everything that I would like to buy and can't. Just believe me, Micro Center here, I could easily spend 10 grand in there in a heartbeat. There's so much stuff in there that I would want to have. My wife's always careful when I go there. She goes, "This is what you're going for. This is just what you're going for. Don't come home with something else." You always come home with something else. I don't tell her that. I hide it. Hey, if she can go to a beauty shop and she can spend $80 to get her hair done, my haircut costs 12. I mean, I think I should be entitled to go to Micro Center and spend about $40 every now and then on something. It's not like I do it every week. Yeah, here you send a normal code and a QR code. I think that's how they do it. I'm not sure. I've never seen one of their drop boxes. I think it's a really great idea, and it's one way to stop the porch pirates from stealing your items. But like I said, we're almost always home, so we know when a package is coming. We wait for it, and we are watching. The FedEx guy is the only one we have to be careful about because they're so quiet. They walk up to the door, they just drop the item off, they put it inside our screen door. That's the only reason why we know that they're here is the screen door, and the dogs start barking. UPS, they drive up, they toot the horn to let us know that they're there. They drop the item off and on off, and well, the mail truck, they all have a certain little rattle to them that we hear. Plus the fact the street is only about 20 feet away from our side windows where they drive. And they always stop the truck and start it back up again, so we hear them. Dogs do too. Dogs don't like our mail people. They don't. The FedEx guys, they like. The UPS guys, they like. Mail? Had to do that for my headset adapter, but it's too small. Yeah. Hey, JC Cattle Company, how you doing today? Hope you're doing well. I'm doing great, sir. Thank you for asking. Thank you for asking. I hope you made it through that cold and all okay. Wait. You're on the East Coast. You didn't get the cold. I hope you made it through the storms okay. That was, that was really the weird part. Most of us were getting hit with the snow and ice, but the East Coast got hit with bad thunderstorms. Really bad thunderstorms. I know my buddy in Louisiana, they got nailed with torrential rainfalls, a couple tornadoes, and then they got hit with the ice storm after that. He wasn't happy. Sometimes he could have always come up here and had to deal with the ice and being snowed in for a while. Waiting for the coffee to be done. Hold on here. Woke up this morning at 28 degrees and your truck ice over. I mean, last week, 28 degrees for a low. That would have been nice. Oh. My wife had to go get groceries last week. She went on Friday. She came home and the high outside was something like 22, 23. And she came in and made the comment of, I don't know why I'm happy to say it's 20 degrees outside. Because that was a lot warmer than what it was. And I used to tell her that, living in southern Louisiana when it was 110 degrees outside, that, excuse me, we were always so happy when thunderstorm passed through and 90 degrees felt nice. Of course, we, got the hiccups. Apologize about that. Of course, 100% humidity. Felt like it was 5,000 degrees outside. Yeah. It's warming up here. We hit 37 degrees. Yeah, it is. Like I said, it's supposed to be 64 or 67 here today. One day. I think yesterday was 58. Tomorrow's supposed to be something like 43. Budova, how are you doing, sir? Welcome in. I'm sorry. I always say sir, whether you're sir or ma'am, so please don't take offense to that. But welcome in, Commander. Welcome in. Yeah, I don't care for the cold much. That's why I live in the South. Yeah, but after growing up in that crap, I needed a change. I always liked the cold more than the heat. But after, 30 some odd years of it, I needed a change. The 4 years I spent between Japan and Southern California was nice. And then I go back home to have to readjust to heat and humidity again, where it was, 85 degrees at 6 o'clock in the morning. you know, you can't go to sleep at night because you're sweating up a storm, and at 2:30 in the morning, it's still something like 92, 93 degrees outside. Yeah, no relief in sight. No wind, car exhaust hanging in the air to where you could actually see it. My mom one day was asking me how come I'd go outside my back door when I was going to my dog. I would bend down just a little bit over before I got to his dog pen. And it's like, you can't see the car exhaust in the air? She's like, what? It's like, yeah. From this point, it was about 5.5 feet up. It was haze all the way up. And below that, it was kind of like clear air. She goes, oh, I never noticed that before. I'm just looking at it. How can you miss it? Just looks like fog up here, and down there it's clear. She never really paid attention to it. And we were always thankful for the thunderstorms that came through in the afternoon. Cleared the air up some, a lot of times quite a bit. The only problem is, though, the steam coming up from the ground more than made up for it. We had somebody one day who just decided to do a science experiment late at the office. She came to work. She said she's making cookies. And we're all looking at her going, what do you mean you're making cookies? We don't have an oven in here. She goes, yeah, there's a cookie sheet I put on the dashboard of her car. She put a couple oven mitts underneath it. And she had cookie dough in it. She was baking cookies outside in her car using the heat from the sun and her car's windshield. Those were some good cookies. Those were good. I remember those. We all thought she was crazy. They were good. They were good. Didn't burn either. She'd go outside. She kept checking them. She goes, oh, they need a few more minutes. All of a sudden, she come inside. She's carrying her little cookie sheet with her cookies in them. Like, yep. Only thing we needed that day was a big old glass of milk to go along with them. Oh. Yeah, that's the only problem about taking the missions and not paying attention to them. Okay, that one's 1,000 light seconds. 10,000 isn't that bad. I'm just looking to make sure we don't have another one that's over 100,000. Kind of like that mission we turned down that was for 200,000. Blaze is thinking we need to move south to get somewhere that will hopefully help with their medical condition. Utah near Salt Lake. I really don't know what the weather's like in Utah. I don't. I don't remember. I drove through the state multiple times when I drove an 18-wheeler, but I don't really remember. I can't recall severe floods. I can't recall blizzards. The southern side is usually warm and dry. That would be nice. Just got to remember, though, that no matter where you move to, that Mother Nature is extremely finicky. Southern California, you got flooding, you got wildfires. Then you got the mudslides from the flooding because there's nothing left to hold the mud in place. In the South, you've got heat, humidity, thunderstorms, but at least with hurricanes, you know that they're coming about a week in advance so you can prepare. And if you don't leave, they spawn tornadoes with almost no warning. Then you also got to deal with floods, mosquitoes, very little ice. It's the reason why when there's an ice storm down there, everything shuts down because nobody's used to it. Middle part of the country, snow, ice, flooding, tornadoes, usual stuff. East Coast, hurricanes, some flooding occasionally. Now, if you go to the Northeast, weather's going to be kind of just as bad as the weather you're experiencing where you are now. But every place has its pros and cons. But one of the things I always remember reading in science class is that the weather within the United States is always the most turbulent because of the two mountain ranges. Now, the middle part of the states is always the worst because you're caught between the two. You've got the cold air coming down from Canada. You've got the warm air from the Gulf. That's where everything clashes. That's where the thunderstorms all develop on. Come on, baby. Launch for. Whoops. No, we don't want to run into the station. We did that last week. That wasn't exactly fun. Michigan, hot, humid summers, some chance of flooding, rare tornadoes, usually lots of ice and snow. Yeah, I mean, like I said, every place. I mean, earthquakes, flooding, tornadoes, hurricanes, blizzards. There's always a chance you always have to take care of, no matter where you live. One place I always enjoyed visiting though was Maine in the fall, when all the leaves were changing colors on the trees and falling. Oh yeah. Oh boy, here we go. Planetary landing. I wonder if I could just attach a little parachute to their data chip and just throw it out. You know, maybe it'll land close to them. Save me a trip down. Load it in a missile and fire it at them. That's what I wanted to do. One of my engineers last night, I went to go pay him a visit, and he wanted something I didn't have. That was a long trip for nothing. Yeah, good luck with that one. Hey, it's a thought. It's a thought. You okay? Okay. Any of my Great Pyrenees mix was coughing a little bit. Okay, well, bye. I don't want to pet you anyway then. When she wants love, she wants love. When she don't, she looks at you like you're crazy and she walks off. Took her out in the front yard to go get mail yesterday, and she walked out there, and she must have smelled the deer that was out there when all the snow was on the ground, because they came up there to the bird feeders. Well, I saw the tracks for them, so I went out there and looked at them. Took Benny out yesterday with me to go get the mail because she's the only one who really listens. She walked out there and was examining the ground. She was sniffing. She was looking around like she was looking for it. Oh yeah. Stick with orbital flight here just a little bit. After I did a crazy maneuver. We're 139 up, so we're about 200,000 kilometers away. Sometimes I get a little reckless during planetary flight. $129 kilometers up. Okay. Watch out, we're coming in steep. Last time I did a crazy maneuver, I threw my back out. We're kind of pulling away a little bit, but we need to start gliding up. Level out some. Being off 30 kilometers isn't that bad. Like the first time I did this with a planetary landing, I think I was something like 120 kilometers away. And the second one I did, I just kind of slammed into the planet without paying attention. Okay, we got to watch our altitude at 2 kilometers up. It's slowly dropping. Flying over a mountain range right now. Got to watch the altitude because I know that we are flying over a mountain right now. Too bad we can't work on the braking thrusters just a little bit more. Kids are the craziest thing and more complex than women. The foods they will eat, well, especially my one son refuses to eat eggs but eats liver mush. Really? I'd prefer the eggs. I do not like liver. I don't. I've never been able to stand the taste of it. My mom used to make me eat it all the time. You know, she'd always ask me what I wanted for supper, and I always wanted breakfast for supper because she never really cooked breakfast. Before going to school in the mornings, I'd always have cereal. It was liver she'd make because Dad liked it. I mean, seriously, I would prefer eggs over that any day. I, little dietary restrictions I had, I was going crazy because I couldn't have much salt. Salt, caffeine, couldn't have dairy. I'm getting waffles for breakfast. My breakfast is going to consist of a English muffin. What is it? English muffin, a sausage patty. I'm going to scramble some eggs and put a piece of cheese on it. Yes, I'm making my own egg McMuffin. And it'll taste better too. Metamucil? No, we're not taking Metamucil. I don't need Metamucil. Imfried might, though. He's starting to get to that age. Keep that in mind, Blazin. Keep that in mind. Yes, ma'am. All right. What system are we targeting? Breaking orbit with no G's. Currently at a 51-degree up bubble. Sort of tilt downward a little bit. Wait a minute. Notice I'm being careful what I say so that voice command doesn't, voice attack doesn't respond. I've had those for breakfast the last couple days. The Metamucil would have helped you with your. Yes, Simfried, thank you very much for reminding me about that. I thought we got past that one just a little bit, but I can see we haven't. It's okay. I tell you, my backside was just singing to Jimmy the song of its people. That's all it was. That's all it was. It wanted to share the love with him. It just wanted to tell him how much it really cared. Of course, he doesn't say anything about the fact that in June, when I was sitting right beside him, I farted and he didn't even acknowledge it, which I'm surprised he didn't smell it. But, it's. I haven't bought eggs in years. Love walking out to the coop in the morning to get our eggs. And I wish we could do that. I really do. We have restrictions here in town about what kind of animals you can have. Chickens are considered farm animals, so that's one of the things that's on the restricted list. But we do have some friends who live outside towns that have, outside our town, that has a lot of chicken coops. And she does bring us farm fresh eggs. At least once a week she comes into town and she brings them. And they are good. They are good. I didn't think they had things like that in Kansas. Yeah, our little town has restrictions on a lot of things. I think it's mainly because the fact that we have so many people who live in this town who work at the power plant that
Leroy Jenkins!
Every thank you for the Leroy Jenkins and the 50 bits, sir. Greatly appreciated. And I know you're trying to give me a heart attack. I know you are. I really do. But thank you. Yeah, we have restrictions, including that we have a noise ordinance that after 10 o'clock at night, you can't play anything or make noise outside that can be heard greater than 50 feet away or across your property line. That fine is $500, and I think it's now up to $150 in court costs. And they are serious about that one. They are. Just like cutoff times for fireworks during the holidays, you have to stop firing them at 11 o'clock at night. That's also a $500 fine. If you fire them, I think it's 4 days after the holiday, you can fire them up to the 4th day. On the 5th day, if you fire them, it's also considered a noise violation. That's another $500. Oh, I know, Justin. I know. He nails them at just the right time when you're not expecting them, when you're focusing on something else. That's when he likes to do it. He's got good timing. Very good timing. But one thing that I'm thankful for is the Infreed will not blast them while I'm drinking something. See, kind of like, unlike what I do, Jimmy, I like to say something while he's, drinking something just to throw him off guard, make him spit everything everywhere. I can't help it if he turns around and spits Monster drink all over his microphone, his monitor. Oh. He's made me almost choke on food before, so I mean, it's turned to the side and have to spit it out of my mouth to keep from choking. And I got dogs who are sitting right there waiting for it. I was flipping an egg, that went off, and I missed the skillet. I've been cooking before where I didn't know my wife came up behind me and all of a sudden she touched me on the shoulder, scared the hell out of me, and I threw the pan and the food everywhere. I was fixing ground beef. We had to eat out that night because the beef was all over the place. I had grease all over the kitchen and we were trying to chase the dogs out so I could get it all cleaned up. She was looking at me like, what the hell is your problem? And I told her, you startled me so bad. I didn't know you were behind me. She goes, but I was talking to you. It's like, did you hear me respond back to you? Did you see me turn around and look at you? Well, no. Then I didn't know you were there. I mean, she's done that to me when I've been out in the garage and working on something before where I threw the screwdriver all the way across the garage because she startled me. I never heard the door open. I never heard her. Told her she kept that up. I was going to put a little cowbell on her so I could hear her coming. She just looked at me. She goes, I don't think so. She says that about me. I walk through the house. You know, she walks kind of heavy sometimes. I don't. My dad used to get mad at a kid when he thought I was walking too heavy, so I had to learn how to walk lightly. So I walk through the house. I don't make a noise. She's in the kitchen doing something, kind of like those times she startled me. I say something to her and she jumps. She always touches me. I say something to her and she jumps. It's like if I wanted to scare you, I'd hide on the other side of a door when you came in, then I'd jump out at you. You know, that's if I really wanted to scare you. Like, we're just talking. I don't know what the thing is. I don't know. I can't do anything without scaring her. I can't. I was doing laundry one day. She came in from outside with the dogs. She closed the door and jumped because I was standing there. She knew I was doing laundry when she went out the door, but when she come back in, she apparently forgot I was there. It's like I'm innocent. I'm not doing anything. I'm not trying to scare you. But to her, I was. So when it's cold outside, I like it when I can build up static electricity. So I've always had that problem, even as a kid. I would walk up behind her after scooting my feet across the floor and just touch her barely on the tip of her ear. Yeah. She always makes sure to kind of keep an eye on me in the wintertime to make sure I can't do that to her. One day, though, it was so funny. She went walking across the room. She sat down. She went to go pet one of the dogs, and I saw the blue spark leap from our dog and just whack her on the hand. She pulled her hand back, and the dog went yelping and running. I'm not sure who got the charge more. She did or Penny, and had to go chase Penny down and check on her, make sure she was okay. And she just kind of comes out looking real sheepish from under the bed, that tail hanging low like she was in trouble. Like, no, honey, you did nothing wrong. You're good. I guess jumping to warp would have actually helped more if I was paying attention while I was talking. Otherwise, that would have been a long trip. Rashid City. Rashid. Okay. Ready for Friday, so I don't have to take the dog out anymore. Still trying to figure out exactly how a 95-pound husky broke a 350-pound capable cable. I could tell you why. Because the 75-pound Lab Dalmatian mix broke one of those same cables. It's supposed to be rated for about a 225-pound dog. It was a steel cable inside a plastic sheath for protection. And I remember the guy at the drugstore, or the pet store, telling me that if your dog can break this cable, I will give you your money back. Because I told him I was looking for something strong that my dog couldn't break. He goes, this is the strongest one they make. If your dog can break this, I will give you back your money. And I will give you, and he started pointing over, he goes, a section of chain holding down. Okay. 2 days later, I was back in there and I showed him where my dog had broke the cable in the middle of the plastic sheath because the cables, were all severed, bent, twisted around. And he's just looking at it going, what kind of damn dog you have? So I went home and got my dog, Roscoe, and brought him back up there. He goes, that dog should not have been able to break this. He goes, well, he did. He did. I had got cables that were rated for him that he broke within 10 minutes just by pulling and tugging on it. I thought the first one was a manufacturing defect, so they gave me another one. Took it home. I went over there a couple days later, had to buy another one. Now, this was the fourth one I had bought from him. And that's when he goes, if your dog can break it, I'll give you your money back. Sure enough, he gave me the money back and he gave me a section of chain to replace it with. Had to attach it to a trailer tie down to make sure Roscoe couldn't yank it up. And then eventually, this smart dog figured out how to wrap the chain around it a certain way that he could start unscrewing the trailer tie down out of the ground. Now, mind you, where we lived in Baton Rouge, used to be an old dumping site for asphalt and all for when they were doing road construction work. They were supposed to have picked it up. What they did instead was buried it. So I knew that his cable, or his trailer tie down went by some of those cement blocks that were buried, the asphalt blocks, because I felt them when I was screwing it in. And he was untying it. He was unscrewing it out of the ground. What took me about an hour to get into the ground, he was unscrewing slowly. Like he didn't think I'd notice. But I noticed. I was watching it come up. And when I would grab the big pry bar and I'd slip it through the holes in it to start screwing it back down, he was just sitting there and looking at me like, he was shocked I knew what he was doing. This lasted a couple months. I went to Home Depot and built dog running construction cable. They're good. They're good. And when I finally put Roscoe's trailer tie down back into the yard, back into the ground, he had raised it 4 inches. And I watched how he did it. He'd wrap the chain carefully underneath it, and somehow he would maneuver to where it would fall perfect between the two attachment bars between it. He'd lay it down, and then he'd start walking in a circle to unscrew it. He figured out how to do it. I'm just sitting here looking at him going, you are a smart-ass dog, aren't you? He learned how to, hit the lock on his dog pen because we never fully locked it. We just turned it. He learned how to smack it with his paw, flip it, and if he hit it a certain way, he can knock the lock out of the latch and he can lift the latch up with his nose. We watched him do that one. We had to put a secondary latch on it just to make sure he couldn't do that. There was one at the top that he couldn't get his nose to be able to unlatch. He tried. You know, we laugh at his antics because he figured out all the stuff just by watching us. We thought he was bad. Where is she? Penny, our Great Pyrenees mix. She's figured out how to do things. If the door is partially open, she knows how to push it open. She knows how to open the walk-through door to the garage. We have had to put spring-loaded catches on the catches to our privacy gate on the gates because she figured out a way to flip the latches up and push the door open and walk out the front yard and let all the other dogs out. Yeah, she figured out how to do it all just by watching us. And she sits there and she looks at a doorknob. She's trying to figure out how she can open the doorknob. So she's trying to learn. I mean, she could pull the shower curtains open and close. She knows how to flip the lid on the toilet seat. She knows how to flush the toilet. Yeah, we heard the toilet flushing one day. Wife and I both looking at each other going, what the hell is that? And we walk in there and there's Penny. She's just sitting there, and when the toilet stops filling up, she just reached up there with her paw and she flipped the lever again. And as soon as the water started going down, she'd release it. She'd just sit there and watch it. As soon as it filled back up, she'd reach up there and she'd do it again. Yeah, Penny's not allowed in the bathroom anymore. And she's learned how to open the kitchen cabinets too. How? She's good. She's good. So the wife and I have to be careful now that every time we're doing something, she sits there and she watches us and she wrinkles her little forehead. And when she starts wrinkling her forehead, she's trying to figure out how to do something. Luckily, our pup hasn't learned yet that she hasn't figured out how to grab her. Oh, yeah. Penny, her favorite blanket. Oh, she'll pull it through the house wherever she wants to lay down. She will pull it and she will lay down on it. When she's ready to move someplace else, she picks it up and she drags it with her. We're glad she's doing it with the blanket. She stopped doing that with the bed. She got caught one time trying to do the one of the dog beds. She couldn't get it through the door and she accidentally shredded it. She pulled it apart. Yeah, we're sitting here just looking at it going, what is she doing? Next thing we know, the bed's come apart in her mouth and we got stuffing flying everywhere. It's like, damn. And she gets mad if you take her bed apart to wash it. Because if you wash her bed, she's mad at you. You better have her blanket there. And if you wash it both at the same time, might as well just throw her in the bathtub too, because, I mean, she's already mad at you. Might as well go ahead and get it over with. Go for the trifecta. But she's a good, loyal little girl. She's the one we rescued from the lady who was beating her. And she remembers that woman too, because every time she sees her walking down the street, she's looking out the window, she growls at her. She remembers her. She really remembers her. See how many more deliveries we got. We got 3 after this. She hates that woman. She does. I can't say I blame her. She's a little diva. No, that's Sadie. Sadie is the little diva. Sadie is the queen of the house. Penny is the queen in waiting. Sadie likes everything delivered to her, including her food bowl. She doesn't like getting up and coming into the kitchen at supper time. She wants you to bring it to her. Yeah. She finds out real quick that when the wife's not here, that doesn't happen. And when she doesn't get her way, she gets mad at you. She carries a grudge. That girl does. She got mad at me one day because I gave her a bath and trimmed her nails. She wouldn't let me pet her for 3 days. No, Jimmy's not a... well, no, Jimmy's not a diva. No, he isn't. Every time I got close to Sadie, she would get up and she would walk away from me. She wouldn't let me touch her. And if she wasn't paying attention, I did touch her. She kind of turned her head, look at me, glare at me, and then move to the other side of the love seat so I couldn't touch her. Fine. I don't want to pet you. If that's the way you want to be, fine. Hopefully the rest of these are all just single jumps where we won't have to go to an in-between system. We buy pizza for supper. We give the dogs the crust. Sadie will not eat until she gets crust. And then she wants crust 5 days after the fact, even if there's none available. You know, every now and then we'll buy them hamburgers. Sadie thinks she's supposed to get a hamburger every day. We make our French fries or we buy French fries. She thinks she's supposed to get them every day, every meal. Penny, she don't care. She gets them when she gets them and she's happy. Yeah. Sadie's a little queen of the house because she'll be 14 on October 24th. Scooter's the little grandpa. He'll be 14 on October 31st. No, October 30th. I'm making your delivery. Your delivery is next up. They're being done in the order they were received. Oh, you'll get it in that 58 minutes. And every time we open something in the kitchen, Penny always thinks it's for her. Or so do the other dogs, but Penny's the first one there. And she's tall enough that the other dogs can put their paws just at the edge of the counter and can peek over the top. Penny's the one who can put her paws, you know, halfway across the counter and be watching everything. She's wagging her tail. She's waiting for it. We have to fuss at her to get down because it's not for her. She must be... Penny likes sleeping in the kitchen. We've got a bed that's underneath the dining room table. Penny likes laying in there because she gets go in there, lay down, stretch out, and be left alone. We're still carrying... Oh, that's the one we should have gone to. Oh, well. All right, Leo, have some things to get done. Have a great stream, my friend. I'll catch you later. All right, Justin, you take it easy, sir. Thank you for coming in. You have yourself a good day. I like this colony's name, Turtle Dove. I'm back, had a call. Well, welcome back, Miss Blazing Butterfly. Your husband's just been giving me a hard time, just a little bit. Not too bad, though. Not too bad. Full reverse thrusters. He took off. I like how some of the stations look like that from Babylon 5. We need one that looks like Deep Space Nine. I made breakfast while talking to my mom. Yeah, he told me about the waffles. He told me about the waffles. I may actually end up skipping breakfast this morning. I have fallen behind on so many things I've needed to get done and having to get caught up from the lack of hot water we had that may skip breakfast, try to get caught up a little bit. Big stack of homemade waffles. Those sound good. Those sound good. I know something I haven't had in a while. Pancakes. A big stack of pancakes with log cabin maple syrup. Yeah, that's it. Like your father before you. How you doing today? Excuse me. Sorry. Herbert, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well, and my voice has just gone to crap all of a sudden. I apologize about that. I don't know where that came from. But welcome in. Hope you're doing well today. Or it's not from Star Wars and title. Well, I'm a little rusty on some of my Star Wars references. Yes. Let's see. Like your father before you, I think that's what Obi-Wan was saying to Luke on Tatooine inside his house, shelter, cave. I don't know exactly what you want to call it. I had like 10 seconds, so I didn't hear. Yeah, I think that's what he said. Yeah, that's what Obi-Wan said to Luke when he was inside his house. Like your father before you. You too will be a Jedi Knight like your father before you. I think that's the line. I think. Ah, from Jango Fett. Trying to remember that one. Bad as it is, I used to watch Star Wars all the time. I used to watch it at least once a year. I don't think I've watched in the past 3 or 4 years. Trying to remember. See, because I'm kind of screwed up by the last three. They kind of really messed me up badly. I didn't care for them. I didn't care for the last three. I heard rumors that they were supposed to be remaking them. Like, how can you forget something like that occurred? I don't know. In Dallas, Pamela Ewing could be in the shower for an entire season and make it seem like a dream, and we could forget one episode, one entire season of another TV show just never existed. Movies skip over things all the times, so I guess they can forget about those three. You should watch Mandalorian if you didn't. I've only seen the first season. I have only seen the first season. And I did like the first one. I did. I really did. It was a good story. Very good. So I need to rewatch it. I was actually surprised. It was a lot better than what I thought it would be. What? I only know 6 films? Okay, I can accept the first three because the first three you have to start building up the characters, start getting it involved. And it's always a slow build up sometimes. You got the first three. Then you got the main three that we all know. And then you've got what I dubbed the disaster three. Because it's like, what the hell were y'all thinking? Last three, it's not Star Wars. I don't know exactly what the last three were. I thought the first one had promise. Parts of the second one were like, what were the writers drinking and smoking? And I went to the theater to watch the third one only because I saw the very first one at the theater. So I had to watch the last one at the theater. I walked out about halfway through going, I cannot believe I sat through that. I can't believe I paid money for that. I don't actually hate prequels like other people. I don't either. I don't. I look at it like prequels just add to the story. They add to what we know and what we like. If they're done correctly. You know, you always got to allow for the slow build up, the character development, and all that. And we knew it was going to start out slow. I mean, Star Wars, the very first movie, episode 4, we just jumped in and we were right there at the action. So we knew what we were expecting. Our first one had to start off slow. The last three were like, but if you didn't watch Mandalorian, you definitely should see the series. Actually, save Star Wars for me after the last three. I loved the first season. I really did. I liked, what was it? Rogue One. I liked Rogue One, where they were stealing the plans to the Death Star. I liked that one. I liked what was it? The Solo story, the story of Han Solo. I liked that one. That one was pretty good. Yeah, the first film was really slow. Didn't like it too much as a kid. See, I felt that way about the third one. I felt that way about Return of the Jedi. It just started off kind of slow. Empire Strikes Back was kind of kissy kissy, little romance thing. Till the action started, it was kind of to avoid the entering the orbit of the planet here. Kind of got caught in its gravity well a little bit that slowed us down. Come on now. Come on. I only want good Star Wars for my kids. Yeah. Oh yeah. Those last three I have no idea what they were thinking, and I can't believe that they were actually a good idea. Like I said, I thought the first one had promise. I thought the Force Awakens had good promise. And it seemed like they just kind of blew it. You had the exceptional Star Wars story. There was so much you could have done with it. You know, what was it? Grand Admiral Thrawn. You could have brought him back to do this. Yeah. Yeah. Ah, Grizzled Eagle, my best friend, my buddy. How are you doing today, sir? Thank you very much for the host. Hope you are doing well this morning. Hope you had a great stream, sir. And welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. I'm Astroglide, formerly Leosian67. And we're just playing some Elite Dangerous this morning. I'm doing great, sir. How are you doing? Those long streams here, I don't know if I could do something like that. I really don't. But how was your stream, sir? Hope you had a great time. Man, I love what you're doing in Satisfaction. You've got everything so neat, so organized, and mine just looks like, I don't know, a Hawaiian shirt. You know, just everything's going on everywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome in Grizzled Eagle, one of my best friends and a great content creator. If you don't know who he is, please click that link, go over, give him a follow, leave his notification bell alone. Make sure you tell him Astro sent you over. It was good. Got a lot done today. Good, sir. Good. Good. Like I said, you've got everything so neat and so organized there, and my stuff always ends up scattered everywhere. You know, I'm just amazed that everybody can make everything look so neat and satisfactory, and mine is just a mess. You know. Now, ladies and gentlemen, one thing I got to tell y'all have definitely got to go check this man out. He always has a smile on his face and a kind word to say. Cam froze again? Yeah, okay. I see it did. Let me take care of that for a moment. Oh, what did I do the other day? Oh, we don't want to turn off today. And now we don't want to turn back on. Oh, I guess it would help if I turn that up. Okay, first it didn't want to turn off, then it didn't want to turn back on. I didn't realize it was like that. I apologize to everybody. Shows how much I pay attention to what's going on in OBS. Whack-a-mole? Really? Really? Whack-a-mole? God, I'm over here saying all these nice things about you, Grizz, and whack-a-mole. Okay. And the cam wouldn't turn off, so I could restart it. Then all of a sudden, I couldn't get it to turn back on. It didn't want to lock in. We'll blame it on the cold. Yeah, that's it. We'll blame it on the cold. That's one problem I never had with the C920 is that it never froze up like that. This cam, though, does. I'm going to definitely have to keep an eye on that. I say that and I still don't do it. Yeah, it kept popping up. I couldn't get it to lock on. I'd click it and it'd come on and it would immediately go back off again. It's not my fault, I promise. I tried. I did try. Good thing I'm usually here when it happens. Yeah, I'm afraid you normally catch that. But you don't catch the fact that I don't have on game sounds for half a stream, though. You kind of miss that one sometimes. Of course, so do I with a big red button in front of me that says it's still muted, and I don't pay attention to that either. Yeah, I'm pretty good about that one. I'm getting a little bit better, though. I remember my first stream back, though, I left that thing off for except for the final 15 minutes. 2.5 hours of almost nothing. Holy cow, it's 8 a.m. I should probably eat sleep at some point, so I'm going to have to lurk, my friend. Hope your day goes great. You and your community have lots of laughs. All right, Grizz, you take it easy, sir. Get yourself some good food. Get yourself some good rest. Thank you for stopping in. It is greatly appreciated, and I'll take care of all your viewers that you brought up over here. So have yourself a good day, sir, and I will talk to you a little bit later on. Seriously, ladies and gentlemen, you want to see one of our great content creators? That is one of the men you need to go see. Like I said, he always has a smile on his face. He's always laughing, carrying on. You could easily spend 6-7 hours in his stream before you knew it. Come on, come on, quit running, quit running. But yeah, those last 3 Star Wars films, I have no idea what they were thinking, and I can't believe that they thought that those scripts were okay. Man, episode 8, it was all, the Imperial fleet were chasing the rebels until they ran out of fuel. What was that? I mean, it's like we were watching a slow motion police chase on TV. What was that? And the only reason why I bought them was just to complete the collection. I've watched each film one time and just one time. Because they were so bad, I didn't like them. All right, FSD is in cooldown. We start slowing down. This is our final delivery. Yes, we've got them all done. And we didn't blow up, Imfried. We didn't get shot at. You got nothing to clip today. Except your little jump scares. Ooh. But you tried. You tried. I'll be nice today. I'll let those slide. Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. I feel so honored that you're letting those slide today. Yes. Yes. Because I know that you will probably be slamming me sometime later this week. Oh, yeah. Ooh. Well, okay, ladies and gentlemen. Unfortunately, it is that time. It is time for me to get the wife up, get the dogs outside, start getting things taken care of today because I do have a few errands I need to run as well. I wish to thank everybody for coming in this morning. Thank you for all the follows, the raids, the laughs, the chat, the laughs, lots of laughs. I hope I provided y'all with a lot of laughs. I really did. We're going to go find somebody to raid and share the love with this morning, and we've got the perfect guy right here. Another good friend of mine, great content creator, one of my Rough Rider brothers, Mr. Reclining Gamer. Great content creator will keep you laughing. And I can see that Twitch is messing up again on the rates. Again. But I wish to thank everybody for coming in. I will be back at 5 a.m. Central Time tomorrow. Until that time, y'all take care, be safe, have yourselves a great day. Thank you.